Alabama haters, prepare yourself because 2024 was the worst Alabama is ever going to be under Kalen DeBoer from this point on. Despite having a disappointing first year in Tuscaloosa, Kalen DeBoer still had a lot to be positive about. He had 9 wins, which was the most wins ever for an Alabama head coach in their first season. He also was 4-1 against ranked teams. He is 15-3 against the top 25 in his last 3 years as the head coach. He's beaten some of the best head coaches in the sport. Steve Sarkisian, Dan Lanning, those are his sons. He owns them. He's beat them twice. Kirby Smart, he beat him. Brian Kelly, he also sent him as well. There is no better coach when it comes to having your team ready for big-time games than Kalen DeBoer. He has one of the most prestigious resumes out of any head coach in college football that doesn't have a national championship to his name. He led Washington to a national championship despite being 2 years removed before then from the brink of irrelevancy under Jimmy Lake. And this season, while I'm super high on Alabama, while I'm not selling any of my Kalen DeBoer stock, is for one, he reunites with his tag team partner. College football fucked up allowing the Brothers of Destruction to reunite once again. That being Ryan Grubb becoming Alabama's new offensive coordinator. Let's not forget the damage that these two guys did the last time they were together at Washington. In 2023, they had the second best passing attack. They were averaging 36 points per game. And they had an offensive line that won the Drew Moore Award. I expect to see a huge campaign out of Ty Simpson in his first year being the starting quarterback for this program. And Ryan Williams, the debate about who's better, him, Jeremiah Smith, it's not a wide gap as what people believe. Ryan Williams could have had the same numbers that Jeremiah Smith had if the quarterback play was more consistent and the offense was more consistent as a whole. You could tell that last year, Kalen DeBoer was lost at times without his tag team partner. It was his first time ever not having Ryan Grubb there. Now with him back in the mix, Alabama's offense is going to explode this year. Not just is this offense stacked, but this defense is stacked as well. You got a bunch of freaks on the front seven. You got the best secondary in college football. Alabama is stacked on both sides of the ball, offense, defense. You got the best receiving trio in college football and the lead offensive line, what should be a top 5 defense. Kalen DeBoer is going to have Alabama in the SEC championship game and in the college football playoffs competing for a national title. This is one of the 5 best teams entering this year. Look, I get it. Nick Saban's the greatest of all time. You got huge shoes to fill. Losing to Vanderbilt, losing to Oklahoma is unexcusable. But give me a coach that loses games that you kind of don't expect Bama to lose versus always having this team ready to play for the big occasions. You know, the rat poison got the Alabama at times. This year, Kalen DeBoer was able to learn from those mistakes. And I give Kalen DeBoer a little bit of grace for how things went at the tail end of last year. He took over this job late during the offseason. He wasn't able to bring in a true portal class. He also had to keep a lot of guys around that maybe he didn't want to keep around because you didn't want to ruin the chemistry in the locker room. He was forced to make some political decisions, such as not benching Jalen Milroe in fear of alienating the rest of the team. This year, though, Alabama has a lot of reasons to be confident that this is going to be a squad that is in the mix to win it all at the end of 2025. I believe in Kalen DeBoer. This man literally paid my tuition his final season at Washington. I was betting so much money and cashing out on Kalen DeBoer at Washington. It was insane. I made at least $6,000 betting on Kalen DeBoer his final year at UW. That's why I believe in this dude. I saw somebody come at me sideways a few weeks ago because remember last year, I made a video saying how Kalen DeBoer was the reincarnation of Nick Saban. And some smart ass in the comments wanted to say, oh, I bet you don't feel that way about Kalen DeBoer anymore. No, I still feel the same way about Kalen DeBoer now as I did when he first got hired by Alabama. There wasn't a better coach to replace Nick Saban than Kalen DeBoer. He is Nick Saban 2.0. Nick Saban's first year wasn't successful. Kalen DeBoer had a better first year than what Nick Saban did. All I'm saying is that Kalen DeBoer is one of the best coaches in college football, probably the best that does have a national championship to his name, and that could change this year. But even if it doesn't happen, the floor for Alabama is 10-2. The ceiling for this team is 16-0. They run through their schedule in the regular season. They run through whoever they play, most likely Texas in the SEC championship, and they run the gauntlet throughout the college football playoffs. This is going to be a huge year that we're going to see out of this program year 2 under Kalen DeBoer. If you sold your Kalen DeBoer Alabama stock, you need to go ahead and buy that thing back up again because you're making a mistake. And if you want to buy some more Alabama stock, you need to buy low before the stock price increases, because I'm trying to warn you guys that Kalen DeBoer is the last coach that anybody should be doubting. The Alabama dynasty is not going anywhere. If you're a Georgia fan, if you're an Auburn fan, keep coping because Kalen DeBoer is coming this year, and he's coming for blood, and it's on the wall. He smells it. Well, Ryan Grubb there, y'all better watch out. I love how y'all counting out Kalen DeBoer. Not everybody's counting out Kalen DeBoer, but I see those comments. Alabama's going to fall off. They're going to win 6-7 games. You're crazy.